So some of you have seen the news and you will have seen that the Albanians were out in the streets of London blocking all the major arteries. So they did all the major parts in London, the bridges and everything else, and they were out celebrating their Independence Day. Now, there's so many things that I could mention that are wrong about this, but let's paint it from the opposite perspective. So we'll do the news first. It says here, Albanians celebrating Independence Day grind central London to a halt. Police battle to move on revellers and convoy, including a £120,000 Mercedes and a £160,000 Lamborghini, blasting their horns and blocking traffic. There were also some very, very pretty looking ladies in original dress dancing, and I thought that was lovely. I must admit that part. However, there was an element of criminality with the burnouts and stuff like that. Your average motorist does that. He gets nicked. Simple as that. Now, I don't know. They might nick them later on. They've got CCTV, but if I was going to be and put my suspicious and I don't trust the police views on, no, they won't. If you listen to the guy off GB News, he said that he was trying to get to work, had to get out of the cab. When he asked the police what was going on, they said that the people that were celebrating the Independence Day were doing burnouts on the bridge. It was unsafe, so they closed the bridge. And there's a phone call just at the most inopportune time. So anyway, if you want to see what the left have to say about it, they'll probably say it was a beautiful thing watching these people that came over to England with nothing now making a good life for themselves and celebrating their country's ancestral Independence Day or something like that. Yeah? Something like that. Now you're going to get my perspective, right? Most of those people haven't been over here long enough to amass that amount of money without criminality. Sorry. They're not exactly brain surgeons or doctors, are they? Right? They're not architects planning some beautiful and wonderful building right in the centre of London where you're going to get paid that money. Nope. No. A lot of drug habits were put into place to fund those motors. They're organised crime. And what that actually was a show of strength, to show the numbers of the Albanians over here now. Now, some of you may say, well, where'd you get that impression from, Rev? Well, it's very simple. If you want to see organised crime in the past that goes out and does its show of strength, look at, say, for instance, the paramilitaries over in Northern Ireland. When they had a special day that celebrated whoever it was that was important to them at the time, they'd come out in mass, waving their flags, hanging out the side of cars, doing and beeping their horns, and it was a show of strength. It was a show of how many people we have that you have to go up against if you come up against us. Simple as that. That was exactly what it is there. And it's also this. We've got them piling over here at such great numbers that the actual country that they've come from is down nearly 2% of all its male population. And brought over that many women, though, have they? All right? Now, some of you may or may not know that the drugs industry can go very quiet during Ramadan. And that much of the cities up and down this great country are divvied up between organised crime. And a lot of them came from these places, all right? That's how they made their money. Now, a lot of you are going to say that I'm unfair, I'm prejudiced, I'm racist. I will admit there's probably some very nice people that came over from Albania, but those are the poor sods that are doing the cleaning job. They're driving the delivery van, all right? They're doing the low-paid jobs because, hey, someone's got to serve me my Pret, right? That was a quote from the left, which I thought was embarrassing. No, this was a show of strength. This was what our organised gang is, the size of it. This is how well we're doing. This is what you would go up against if you try and cross us. That is exactly what it was. And the left will try and put it down to something else. Now, I've already decided now in my mind that because whites are in the minority in London, that London has literally fallen, okay? You know that knife crime, gun crime, prostitution, racketeering, all the other things in London are just going up and up and up. But it isn't just London. And it isn't just our country, by the way. See how well that, say, for instance, the Albanians are doing all the way across Europe in their endeavour to increase their wealth. Not just that. Think about the criminality that goes with it. Think about the suffering that goes to the indigenous and other people that come to this country or in this country. Not just that, that money that they make, right? It gets re-injected into other projects, all right, or it gets sent home. Now, for every pound coin that gets sent out of our country to somebody's other country, it doesn't help our economy at all. But the left are going to celebrate this and think it's wonderful. All I can see is a show of strength. And you ask anybody as old as I am that has seen people who are part of an army, part of criminality, I mean, big organised crime. Because in the old days, organised crime used to try and go below the radar. They wanted to keep it down. These people are blatant. They're arrogant. They don't give a shit. Having said that, when you looked at, say, for instance, the IRA used to raise money through criminality, drug stealing, although in the beginning it was illegal, but not towards the end. Racketeering, long firms, what were they doing? Extortion, all of the other things. I'm telling you now, if you've got no skills, all right, and you've literally just got off that boat, you are not going to be driving around in a 170 grand Lamborghini unless you've done something illegal. Sorry, fact. Get over it. Unless you are the most luckiest man in the world. But if you had a look at all of those vehicles, there wasn't a shit one amongst them. So, sorry. But I'm just going to call it because most people haven't got the guts to do it. I don't care what happens, really. I really don't. The end of the if you can't tell the truth on here, what's the point? So just say it as it is. But that's my opinion of it. But yeah, the police will. If you try to move these people on, you get arrested for a disturbance of the peace, right? If you complain about these people, you're racist. If you, as a group of white boys, went out and did this on St. George's Day, right? They go mental at you. That's where we are today. Now, I'm sorry that I'm bringing you bad news and stories like this, but it has to be said. The elephant in the room needs to be talked about. We've imported armies of young, fit, healthy, strong, and men that don't like us, and that's what they're doing. While you're paying more tax and worrying about whether you can put any food on the table, whether you can put the heating on, right? Those mushies are driving around in nice cars, making sure they got their women out in the streets, making sure they got the kids pushing their drugs. Sorry, mate. There it is. Anyway, I'm just going to say that because at the end, I don't give a shit. I don't. Look, years to come, in the future, they'll judge me for what I did now. But they're also going to judge you for what you maybe didn't do. Okay? So, unpopular views, but there it is. Right, well, I'm going to go on about my day, and I'm going to go to work so that I can pay for things like, the support and upkeep of all these poor little Albanians coming into our country in the hotels up and down the country, because they've put them into a chain of Albanians and others. They put them into a chain of hotels. They've now run out of room. They're now trying to press gang other hotels into doing this. Now, any hotel that goes up against it, in some places, they've put their rates up 2- and 3-fold to try and break that hotel so that they will capitulate. Why? Why do you desperately want these people in your country? Oh, that's right. You want to start a war. I'll say it. That's exactly what this country, that's what the government and the people planning this, that's what they're doing. I mean, where's all the women with you? Oh, don't worry. They don't want to get caught up in it anyway. No, they're bringing in soldiers. No, I'm not believing that they're soldiers that are part of some UN army or anything like that, which is some conspiracy thing going around, which I don't believe, but they are an army. And we're in trouble. So there you go. Right. I'll see you in a bit.